So, a few months back, I watched the Chinese drama Melody of Golden Age on YouTube, hosted by Mango TV, and I was quite impressed by the titular character Shen, who displays a lot of practical wisdom throughout the series. And I think there are a lot of life lessons that a viewer can take away from him. The first is resilience and purpose. Shen is only 23, yet he is a Grand Minister in the official palace. He is also the head of the Imperial Guard. So this is a historical drama is set in a fictional world of ancient China. And Shen holds a position of great prominence in the series. It says that in terms of hierarchy, he is above 10,000 and below only one, that one being the Empress. So, but Shendu's life hasn't been easy at all. He was born into privilege. His father was a court official himself, but when Shendu was 15, his father was falsely accused of treason and exterminated along with the rest of his 1,700 clansmen. And at that time, Shendu, who was imprisoned for being the son of a traitor, he was urged by his mother to join the palace as a palace official in training. And to do this, he had to publicly denounce his father, which was incredibly difficult and painful for him. Yet he did it because his mother told him that if he does not succeed in gaining the Empress's favor, if he does not succeed in becoming a court official himself, he would never be able to clear his father's name and bring justice to his deceased clanspeople. And this burning passion is what powers Shendu, what drives him to live through years of hardship and humiliation and just so much uncertainty to make his way up in the court hierarchy and reach the position that he has reached through sheer dint of his hard work and perseverance. He also displays some extraordinary integrity. Extraordinary because everybody other than him in the court is corrupt and everybody is making their own factions. Everybody has it out for the Empress. So basically all the officials are operating on self-interest, but not Shendu, which is odd because given the trauma that the Empress put him through, he had every reason to turn against her, but he doesn't do it. And that's because once he decided that he's going to join the palace, he decided he was committed to serving the Empress, he was committed to serving the empire. And that's what he does from beginning to end, which means that he isn't siding with anybody at court. And that makes his position actually very difficult because, as it's said a couple of times throughout the series, Shendu has no backing other than the Empress, but he, more than anybody else, knows just how fickle royal favor can be. Even so, he decides to stand on the strength of his own competence and his own commitment, which I think is really admirable. And this is the reason why he's able to consistently outperform himself and keep building the trust that the Empress has in him. The other point is just how alert he is. Half of the series is just him attending court and he's listening in very carefully, very closely. Like he's making sure that he knows exactly what winds are blowing in the palace and how the winds are shifting. And I think that this actually contributes to his great performance at work because he understands what he needs to do to serve the empire, at the same time what he needs to do to support the Empress. And he's really got an ear to the ground. This also, of course, means that he gets to hear some unpleasant things being said about him, both by the public and by his fellow court officials, but he listens to them unflinchingly, and he has the resilience to accept exactly where he stands with them. He is then bequeathed a marriage by the Empress, and in a strange turn of events, he ends up marrying the youngest sister of his fiancée. And this woman, Yan Xing, has a brilliant mind. She is an investigator and a passionate scribe in the Ministry of Justice. And Shendu immediately recognizes her intellect and her passionate commitment to justice. And this is what endears her to him. A central focus of the series is on the painstaking efforts that Shendu makes to establish a relationship with his wife, despite the many misunderstandings and political intrigues that are bleeding into their married life. They're both dedicated to serving the people in their own way, and ultimately it is a mutual recognition and respect for this that brings these two together as a couple. The actor Ding Yushi, who plays the character of Shendu, said about him that he is very calm and composed. He displays great emotional resilience and he knows when to speak and when not to speak and what to say at the right time. There are many minor and major villains in this series, and they keep trying to rile him up, but he refuses to react to their provocation. However, when the princess tries to strong arm him into taking her daughter as his second wife, he outright refuses. He knows the princess wants him to join her faction. He doesn't want to do that. But that's not the only reason why he's refusing this marriage. He's also doing it because he honors the relationship he has with his wife. And he clearly says that in this lifetime, I will take only one wife. And then he uses logic to reason with the empress, saying that if this marriage to her granddaughter is only to control his actions, that means that she does not trust his abilities. Cut to the end of the series, where Shendu has successfully, and at great risk to his own life, restored the order and stability of the empire and reinstate the monarchy. He is now about to approach the empress to request her to reopen his father's old case. The emperor's family considers this to be an act of rebellion, and Shendu knows it can send his head rolling, but he never takes for granted that his recent great service to the empire in any way entitles him to the empress's consideration. And when the empress investigates the case and finds out that it was her own clan's people to blame for this, she orders their extermination, including that of her own son. And at that time, Shendu once again the uprightness of his character by pleading with her to quit this bloodshed. He doesn't want a repeat of what happened to his own clan. All he wanted was to reinstate his father's good name, which he has now accomplished. I know everything is easier in film than it is in reality, but inspirational characters and role models can be found even in fiction, and I deeply appreciate Mango TV for bringing this series to us and the character of Shendu to us, and I hope that the actor Ding Yushi continues to take on such very meaningful roles in the future as well.